Greetings, 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 my beautiful disruptors. We are back this week and we are on our third key, key number 3, financial freedom as a personal KPI. All righty. All kinds of things are popping up at me. So let's jump right in. I have 4 key points, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6 key points that I'm going to talk to you about today around financial freedom and where to start, how you get there. So the goal is to treat it like a personal KPI, key performance indicator. So we're going to define financial freedom. We're going to talk about money mindset for financial empowerment. I'm also going to talk about setting financial goals with a purpose, as well as income streams and side hustles, and then give you some homework, practical things to do, because you know we take action around here. And then a little bit of um, how to take that action. So the transformation piece of that, right? How it's connected. Um, tell you what my notes say. So let's talk about defining financial freedom. And it's really, it's your definition. I'm going to tell you what I currently have as a definition, and it might change over time. Doesn't mean that it's going to remain the same as you grow and, you know, things get clear to you. They're they're going to change. I know for me, I had several things. One was trading time for money. I don't want to trade my time for money anymore, and what that really looks like, because that was really working a job um, for somebody else and helping them live their dreams and their goals and their desires. Okay. So financial freedom, it can be defined as a state where you have enough resources to make life choices without being overly stressed about the financial impact, right? So that could look like, I want to take a vacation. Maybe it's a spur of the moment vacation or things like that. And then, you know, you're counting your dollars and cents to see if you even have enough. Um, and it can look like being totally debt free. Currently, I am, I think I'm about 2 payments away from fully being debt free and not owing anything on a credit card, coming out of my divorce, paying off that business debt that we had, and took me 5 years. So 2 payments away. So that's, you know, so being debt free, having an emergency fund, um, having savings for your dreams and future goals, the ability to make choices aligned with your personal vision, right? What does that look like? One of mine, just for an example, is I want to be able to travel internationally at least twice a year. So the first half of the year and second half of the year. And then travel domestically every other month. So that's 6 times a year or more often. So I have a kitty um, where if anything comes up, I can be able to do that. Okay. It will empower you to take control of your life, pursue your passions, make decisions that align with your values without being constrained by financial limitations. And we talk about that a little bit. It is about having the financial stability and flexibility to live a life on your own terms, something that really brings you joy. You know, you want to live your life, not be constrained and boxed in, um, right? It's your life. You get to choose, you get to live it how you want. And I'm here to help you make you do that, right? So let's talk a little bit more about that. Um, Tell me too, drop what financial freedom means to you. Give me some examples. Tell me what that looks like, um, and what you've started doing already. Any questions that you have. I would love to be able to answer those as well. So just again, financial freedom is a state where you have enough resources to make life choices without being overly stressed about the financial impact. Okay. Some of that can look like being debt free, having an emergency fund, having savings for your dreams and future goals, an ability to make choices aligned with your personal vision. And we talked about in key one is your personal vision. Key two is setting those boundaries, right, to get you where you'd like to be, to meet your goals and to make that vision come true. And now, key three is financial freedom as a personal KPI, key performance indicator, because that's going to get you where you need to be. All right. Let's see, what else do I have around financial freedom? So let me give you an example. My former client paid off $50,000 in debt and now has the freedom to start her own business, right? She also, as part of that that $50,000 in debt, she paid off her mortgage. Can you imagine what you would do having a paid off mortgage? You know, if you're a homeowner, that just takes so much weight off. You know, I know people get, what is it, 30-year terms on their mortgages, but just imagine a paid off mortgage. I know that was something that Dave Ramsey in his program that he was big on, right? Not having a mortgage, paying off all your debt. Um, I have a tool called the Clarity Calculator that helps with that, really helps you define your vision, helps you understand what are those real whys that you have, you know, and that could be one of them, paying off your mortgage. That was one of my clients, that was one of hers. And as she started using the Clarity Calculator and figuring out her money making possibilities, which are like money generating activities, products, and services, she started realizing I don't have to wait for someday. Some of these things I can do right now. They feel far off, but if you're always thinking someday and you don't really have a mapped out plan and a strategy, someday is nowhere on the calculator. I mean, it's nowhere on the calculator and it's nowhere on the calendar. You know, we say someday, look for it. See what day of the week is someday. It just does not exist. So we need to get real clear. That's why I talk about clear vision all the time, right? It changes the game. Clarity changes the game, right? It gives you a track to run on. It gives you a guide, a roadmap, whatever the word is for you that you need to hear to click for you to get it and for you to get in motion. It just gives you an action plan, a strategy to get things going when you get really clear. And so that's what we're here for. Okay. So that was defining your financial freedom. Holler at me in the chat. Let me know what that looks like. Okay. And I'm gonna give you a couple more examples. Um, Having the ability to start your own business, leave a toxic relationship, invest in personal growth without immediate financial stress. I did that. Um, I pursued my business coaching certification with Hello 7. I became a certified business, mindset, and money coach. And I did that. I actually leveraged my emergency fund. It was something that I truly desire. It was an investment in myself, and I bet on myself. And so that's why I'm here talking to you today with my podcast, Coaching Conversations. So this is a live coaching conversation that we're really having. And if you're following along and you're listening, I'm giving you the blueprint to the business of you to help you get your shit together, because that's what we do around here. Okay. So as I'm doing the same, I want you to come along and do the same for you. Okay. Awesome. So number two is money sign mindset for financial empowerment. Like what are those money stories? What are those things holding you back? I think about as I say this, I have a friend that always talked about a rainy day money, having a rainy day fund. But is that something that could be holding you back? Because what is a rainy day? you really need to define what a rainy day is to leverage that. You know, I was using the term emergency fund for me, which was about I had about $36,000 in my emergency fund. And right now I don't remember how I came up with that number. But for me, after going through all the things that I've been through and doing so much for everyone else, and this was an opportunity to do something that I truly desired. I had manifested and said it if the opportunity came up that I would do it. So I did it. To me, that felt like an emergency. You've got to define that for you, but figure out like what are those things that are holding you back? How do you feel about money? How have you been raised? What have you been taught about money? You know, I had a relative tell me that I wanted them to invest and um, get what is it called? Why can't I talk today? Get them a IRA, investment retirement account, right? Isn't that what IRA is called? And they told me that they were born poor and they were going to die poor. Like broke my whole face and my heart for them because it was just out of ignorance, right? Out of ignorance. What kind of money stories do you have? If they are negative and they're potentially holding you back, then you got to go inward to find that out sometimes. You may not even know that they're there or that they exist, but it's stopping you from getting you where you want to be. And then I want you to Google or use AI, Chat GPT, Google's Gemini, whatever that is, and come up with some positive money mindset affirmations for you. You know, I believe I'm a money magnet, that money is going to come to me. I've been blessed enough. I have not had an abundance of money, but I have had every need and desire met and the ability to be able to make money as needed. You know, I I didn't grow up on welfare or anything, but I leveraged it when I got pregnant because I wanted to go back to school and be in the place that I wanted to be able to raise my son, right? So sometimes you got to look at things like a tool. And if you've probably been raised in a situation like that, maybe that's all you know and all you believe, but that's not the end of your story or your journey. So you can get beyond that. So look at those things and what does that look like? Um, Especially women, right? Those are the things that hold us back. You know, we're just getting I don't even know how many years it's been, but I was looking at some of the numbers. You know, we had Kamala running for president, and all of that history was coming about how a woman couldn't purchase a house, have her own name on a house and purchase a house, how she couldn't have a credit card in her name, like all of these things that are disempowering to a woman. So were you impacted or were you raised in an environment like that? And maybe you just don't know your level of power yet because you haven't seen it modeled. But you could be the generational breaker of all of that, right? All of that dynamic. You know, it's you've never seen it and it hasn't been done. That's okay because you're the blueprint. So you make it happen so that the other people that are coming behind you, your sisters, your brothers, your nieces, your children, your son, your daughter, you know, you might even inspire some of the older people to see that, okay, these young people, you know, young people really set the tone anyway, right? They're the ones that are really the guides. They have no fear, have no fear, right? Think about that. If there's something you truly desire, but then you start having feelings of you can't do it or what have you, or feeling some kind of way, sit with that, write about it, journal it, record it, speak it into the your phone or a recorder and play that back and listen to what is underlying there. Think about what you're taking in. Who do you listen to? Where are you getting the information that shapes you, because the internet is trash, as in social media, right? If you're listening to other people and watching more of them live their lives and you living and doing what you want to do in your life, and taking action, you're just a bystander, you're not a participant. That could be a mindset block for you, because you're looking at somebody else and you're not doing it for yourself. So we can't have that. Okay. So discuss breaking free from scarcity mindsets or financial uh, dependence on someone else. What is it? What is the skill set that you have? So if you're working a job and somebody is paying you, you're already an expert in that thing. You could be starting a business and doing that yourself. Sometimes that is your zone of excellence, right? You can start out that way in your zone of excellence and make money, and then get to figuring out what your zone of genius is. What is effortless, right? If you're going to be working anyway, and your desire is to have financial freedom and not be trading time for money like mine was, then get at that thing. Because remember, someday is not on the calendar. Let today be the day that you decide that this is what you're doing. This is what we're doing, right? Write it down, make it plain, think about the vision, all of that. Go back to key 1 if you missed it, so you can see how to go about making that vision really plain for yourself. And if you need something more concrete than doing it on your own, sign up for my Dreams to Reality Bootcamp. It actually starts tomorrow, so you've got time. Check the link in the bio, check the link in the description of this video, and I would be happy to have you. It is 8 weeks, and we really get into it. And we also have a 10K in 10 days challenge. So you can potentially make $10,000 or more within the next 8 weeks. Okay. Number 3, setting financial goals with purpose. This is part of your vision, right? Identify the financial goals that align with your vision, right? Say your goal is to buy a house. You've been renting, but if that money that you are using to pay rent, which is part of somebody else's fortune, they invested in that real estate and they've got you living in there. How can you flip that around? Like, what can happen for you to start doing that and making that, working towards that goal for yourself, right? You pay down your debt, then you get enough for a down payment. Or are you out there looking and investigating what options are out there for you to become a new homeowner? Or maybe you want a second property. What does that need to look like? Okay. What does it need to look like for you to save towards the business goals that you have? Right? Maybe you want to go live in another country. I know I do. I'm seriously contemplating on moving in that direction, right? So what would that look like? Make that plan. How much money do you need? What would it cost? All of those things, right? Investing in yourself to make more money to get you there. Do you need a business coach? Do you need a financial coach? What does that really look like? Do you need to take on another skill? Something that you've desired, but something was holding you back. What is that? Write that down. And then we reverse engineer it. Start with the end in mind. And what are the steps, if you work backwards, that need to happen for you to get there? Because sometimes that's where you get stuck, right? Is where to start. Well, that's where you start. You start with the end goal. And then we work our way backwards. Okay. And in that, they need to be SMART goals, right? They need to be specific, measurable, actionable. Let me Google that. I didn't forgot what the SMART goals are. SMART goals. See, and you can do that when you don't remember. They're specific, measurable, attainable. They got to be relevant and time bound, right? You got to put a time on it. Okay. And let me see if I got some examples for you of the SMART goals. So you being specific, it's a specific area of improvement. Quantify when it's measurable, quantify or at least suggest an indicator of progress, right? Like how are you going to know that you've met that goal? Attainable, specific, like who don't say like, I want $1 million and you think you're going to have $1 million in a month, in 6 months. But what's realistic? Can you have $1 million in a year? Can you have $1 million in 2 years, 3 years? You're going to be a millionaire. So really kind of look at what that looks like, right? And then realistic, like I said, the amount of time, what those results would really look like for you. And then when, what is the time frame? What can be achieved in reality? Okay. I love, 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 love this. I love this. Okay. Yeah. Let me see what else I got in here. Do 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 do. I don't like when I get on the internet and everything pops up, all the windows, all the information that you want from you, more than a notion. Okay. Well, you know, we are doing this live, so no telling what I might get sometimes. Let's see. Let me see if I can give you a realistic example. Um, okay, nothing good's coming up. What can I, what's a SMART goal? Okay. This one isn't financially bound, but it's a good one, especially when you're stuck, that I typically give to people. And it's making your bed for 30 days, right? It's attainable, it's measurable, 30 days, it's specific, making the bed as soon as you get out of the bed, making your bed for 30 days. So you can measure that by how many days you did it, keeping track of that. And it's very specific, it's attainable, and it's time bound. So that would be what I'm going to make my bed for 30 days. Okay. I'm going to pray for 30 days. I'm going to put aside $10 per pay for an entire year. That would get you a specific goal, and you would make, so it's 52 weeks in a year. So that would be 520 bucks that you will have made, right? I don't know why my brain goes crazy when I'm on the spot. 10 times 52 equals, yep, 520 bucks. You could have saved, towards something. Okay, that's a specific, measurable goal. All right, setting your goals with purpose. And the clarity calculator will help you have specific, measurable goals as well. Because it will align with their vision. It will help you figure out, based upon what that goal is that you have, such as the house, what is the cost of the house? Then we break it down monthly, and then we break down what are the things that you can do to generate that income. What are those money-making possibilities? Okay. Number 4 is your income streams and side hustles. That's another good one. So I have a couple. I wrote a book. So that's one income stream. It's a passive income stream. I also I do public speaking. So these are various streams. I also have a gourmet sauce that I am putting into production. I've sold it before. I'm not actively selling it right now, but that's another income stream. What skill sets? I like to tell people to start with what they already have, what they already know, what they already have in their hands. If someone is paying you on a job, those services, you probably could become a consultant, um, do that same work on the side. I have a friend that works for a drapery company. So people are always, wanting him to come in and do things on the side. So you have ways to make money, right? And you can do that and work that thing till you get to that specific, measurable, attainable goal financially that you want to say, hey, now I can go off and do this thing that I really want to do. Okay, that's where we want to get you. Really thinking about that. What is your key performance indicators around these goals? Okay. Um, what do you are you good? Maybe you could be an editor. Are you good at, writing and reading and helping people with that? What do people come to you for naturally? That's something that you can monetize and makes extra income. Okay. You can start an online tutoring business. There are so many money making possibilities. The thing is just to get started and see what happens. Okay. Drop some money making possibilities in the chat for me that you're thinking about. And let's help you get them fleshed out. Okay. Financial freedom and personal power. Um, there's nothing like that, right? To feel like you have no limitations financially. It just empowers you to do so many things. I know I think about when I started realize I used to finance my cars when I would purchase a car. And then I started realizing, and actually I got this from Dave Ramsey when I was following his financial blueprint um, to pay cash or finance it to the point where I could pay it off in 3 years. So one of my cheat codes when I purchase a car, one, I only purchase used cars. I don't purchase brand new cars because we all know that the value of a car goes down the moment you drive it off the lot. And I'm just not that in the cars. I just needed to get me from point A to point B. And I would purchase a car. I don't spend more than $10,000 on a vehicle, typically. And then I would make the payments to where I could pay it off within 3 years. And I would do that so say, I think the last car, my car note was $300 a month. Let's just go with that. And I would take every 2 weeks and pay 150 so that it would still be paid 300 a month by the due date. And you might need to change the due date or what have you. But I would be cutting the interest in half by making that payment twice a month because on installment loans, interest typically accrues daily. So the more often you make the payment, it cuts down the interest. So if you could make the payment 4 times, divide the 300 by 4, and what is that, $75 a week, you would also cut the interest down. And I just did it twice a week. And instead of paying it off in the 5 years, I paid it off in thinking like 2.5. It might have even been sooner than that. So that's kind of a habit that I have financially. And you can do that with anything that has installment payments. My example is the car, because that's typically the only thing that I really finance. But any debt in that way, you're still going to pay that 300 a month, but you're making it work for you versus for them. Same thing, I used to do that when I had a mortgage payment as well, cut that interest really, really down. You don't have to pay a mortgage forever. They don't like for you to break it up into multiple payments. Sometimes they won't accept it, but you can find ways around that. You could also be taking that money and putting it aside to make an extra payment for the year. That will alone cut a lot of interest off too. One extra payment a year, or however many extra payments you can pay towards your principal. So there's so many things that you can do to get there. So you've got choices. We want to clean up your mindset, be looking at these things in a different way. One that just crossed my mind, if you're a Christian and you're a servant leader, you probably haven't been raised to believe that you could also have wealth and financial freedom, but you can. God didn't put us here to just struggle. He said he would give us the desires of our heart. So believe that. What do the desires of your heart look like? Because they're there for you. You have gifts. These gifts are real and valuable to others, right? So I want you to believe that. The other thing financial freedom does is it helps you heal, right? It helps you get beyond those things that are impeding you. That's a healing process in itself. You get more power to do the things that you desire when you have financial freedom. It gives you more confidence. You can sit up straight and know that you know what you know, right? Sometimes that's all it takes. Because you're doing the thing. You're walking the walk. You're talking the talk. You created the plan. You're following the plan. You're being about the business of you, which I call minding your business. You get to focusing on your business and your business alone, you're going to be unstoppable. So that's what this series is about. Just like helping you get that thing totally together. All right. So let me give you an example that I have down here, right? Maybe you're in a toxic relationship and that's the big hindrance, right? People feel like they're staying for the kids or they can't afford to step out on their own. But if you start building a plan towards saving, it will give you the confidence to leave that relationship and start your life again. Start a new life, right? Aligned with who you truly are. But you got to decide that you're going to do it and take the action. Because when you move in the direction of the thing that you desire, guess what? Those things will meet you. They're just waiting on you. They're already there. They're just waiting for you to get there, for you to make up your mind and decide that that's where you want to be. Okay? So I gave you 5 points. I know I'm getting nervous on this thing. I was all over the place. So the first one was defining your financial freedom, right? And what that truly looks like for you. Number two is your money mindset for financial empowerment. Like what's holding you back? You got any scarcity thoughts? Do you feel like, when you come up with something that you want to do, that, oh, I can't do that. I don't have enough money. Yes, you can. What do you have in your hand that you can create money? You can create the money and abundance that you desire. You already have the skills for it. Okay. If you are being paid on anybody's job, I want you to come up with the affirmations. Remember, I said leverage AI to do that. I'm a money magnet. I was designed to have an abundant life, right? And do that thing, right? And there are more things that are abundant than just the financial freedom. It's also the time freedom that you're going to be freeing yourself up for as well. Setting financial goals with purpose, right? What is the vision? What does that look like to help you get there? Right? Just not anything willy-nilly. Let's really define what are the things that we want. Right? We talked about you want to travel, What kind of experiences do you want to have? One of mine is I want to speak Spanish fluently. So I want a Spanish tutor. So that's on there. That's on my list, and then taking the action to do that, investigating what does it look like? What does it cost? Where can I find one? Can I do it online? Can I do it locally? Like all of those things. Okay. And number four, income streams and side hustles. We talked about that. What knowledge do you have? Can you write a book? You can sell that thing. Do you do taxes? What can you do on the side? What are you doing at the company that you work for? What does your heart say? What would make you come alive and want to get up and get out of the bed every day? Right? Let's do that thing. Number five, financial freedom and personal power. What strength do you need that is you're being held back, right? Let's go get that strength, right? To help you get where you need to be. Make the choice. It will change your entire life, right? Okay. All right. So with that being said, I want to let you know and invite you. Tomorrow starts my Dreams to Reality boot camp. It is hands-on and it will help you receive financial freedom, time freedom. Reason being, we define your vision, your goals. We total the cost of those vision and goals. So you have a monthly number of what that looks like for you to be able to achieve it. Then we identify money making possibilities. That's like what you can do to generate income. And we define an offer around those things. And we do this in 8 weeks. So you're in a community, it's a group, a cohort of you going through it. You'll get accountability and support. You will help each other, hold each other accountable, and help one another. And I will go live and teach you each week the topics that we'll be touching on, right? The vision, your mindset and limiting beliefs that are holding you back. What are those money stories? We'll dig deep and really talk about those and help you break free of them. We will also then consider the cost, like I said, and then we will look at the products, services, money-making possibilities that you can then do. Then we're going to craft an offer around them, and we're going to do a challenge for 10K in 10 days. We're doing it as a group, so you're not doing it alone. So you'll walk away with probably more than 10K, right? Because we're doing it together. That's three weeks in the cohort, in the boot camp. And then we talk about what are those things that you can do right now that you didn't even realize because you were focused on someday. Well, someday will be now. It will be the day. Okay. So look for the link here for the Dreams to Reality Boot Camp. And then I also, as part of that, you get the Clarity Calculator that is the entire roadmap and the secret sauce to it all. There are a number of testimonials that you'll find here on my YouTube, as well as anywhere that you find me on YouTube, so you can see how well it's worked for others. And if you're not ready for the boot camp, every Tuesday I am holding the Clear Vision Workshop. So tap in and join me there. That's a free workshop. You get a little bit more information as well, and you can get a free vision bingo card. That's it in the background right here on top. That's mine. It helps you track your short and long-term goals that we've been talking about as well. So let me know what questions you have for me, how helpful this was, if there's anything else that you would love to know as well. I'd be happy to answer. Meet me here every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I will either have a guest that is also a coach and maybe somebody that can help you in the area that they specialize in. And when I don't have a guest, we'll still be talking about the business of you. So this is key 3, financial freedom as a personal performance indicator. Okay, so don't forget those top 5 things. Define your financial freedom, your money mindset for financial empowerment, setting financial goals with a purpose, your income streams and side hustles, and financial freedom as your personal power. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you next week or this week, either in the boot camp or at the Clear Vision workshop. You take care of yourself. Okay, thank you so much. This thing never wants to let me out. I forget what.